My name is Rollie. I am 28 years old, originally from Los Angeles, California. I'm currently working at NYU as the assistant director of the Center for Student Life. My coming out story, where to begin? I was born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, which is a part in Southern California. I would like to say predominantly large populations of hardworking people of color communities. I myself was born and raised in a very Roman Catholic Filipino household. My mother was about 44 years old when she had me, so pretty a non-traditional mother back in the 80s. So growing up, again, had the Catholic figures all around the house, decorated Virgin Marys and rosaries. And so that was really embedded in my head of just having that Catholic identity. So obviously dealing and developing my sexual identity, I was surrounded with Navy uncles and Filipina nurse aunts. And so the notion of being gay was kind of taboo. So growing up, I just knew that it was wrong. It wasn't an identity that I could even explore. But moving to New York City for graduate school, and New York City being such a diverse and melting pot of many different communities, I started exploring that identity a little bit more. And New York City kind of was a place where I found myself. And with that said, I knew that I had to tell my family, my friends first, right? And so next was my family. And so I decided in the summer of 2013 to fly home for my mom's birthday, no better way. And so I flew home and I was nervous. My sister picked me up, and it was a tradition for my sister when she picked me up to go to In-N-Out Burger, right? And so she picked me up and she's like, okay, what do you want? And I'm like, at this point, like the last thing I wanted to do was order a cheeseburger. And I told her, I'm like, hamburger is fine. And she already knew something was wrong because I didn't know what I wanted to order. So I told her to pull over and she knew automatically something was wrong. And so I said, pull over. And she goes, what's wrong? What's the problem? And I said, just pull over. So I told her and I'm like, hey, there's something like I wanted to tell you for the longest time, but I'm gay. And my sister, obviously someone that's has seen me grow up, she said, I knew, and I'm happy you're telling me. But are you telling mom and dad? And I was like, shit. Yes, that was the whole plan why I'm home. So she was very nervous. She goes, I think dad's gonna be fine. I don't think mom is gonna be fine. And so that was kind of a nerve-wracking moment of like, should I be doing this? So we celebrated my mom's birthday the following day. Obviously, it wasn't the time or place for me to tell her. The following Sunday morning, I just knew this was kind of like D-Day, right? This is the day that I'm gonna do it. And so I woke up and my parents are getting ready and they're like, hey, do you want to go to church with us? I'm like, oh, probably not. I said I didn't feel well and I said, I think I'm going to stay home. So they went to church, went to my sister and I was like, I don't think I'm going to do it. And she's like, maybe you'll wait for Christmas. And I'm just like, I feel like my sister's just nervous too. So I texted my best friend in New York City and I was just like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna do it. And at that time, I already came out to all my friends in New York City. And when that text message back kind of like set the tone and she said, hey, just asking here, but when you came out to us, how did you feel? And I said, I felt liberated. I felt free. I felt myself. And she goes, listen, you're gonna feel the same way with your parents. So it's up to you, but you like that feeling, you want that feeling with your parents. So, my parents came back from church and they were changing from their church attire and I told them that I needed to talk to them. And so they're like, yeah, we'll talk. We're going to change. So I'm in the living room. I'm sitting on the couch. And the moment I sat there and I knew what I was doing, I just start crying. And I'm just like, bah! And bawling. And my sister wanted to be there, but like not be there. So she was in the kitchen prepping food and she's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm so nervous. She goes, hey, I'm here, don't worry. So she's in the kitchen, my parents walk out and still I'm an emotional wreck and my mom sees me and she like literally just starts crying. My mom's a very sensitive woman. So she sits down next to me, my dad sits on the left side, my mom sits on the right side, so I'm in the middle, and I'm crying. And so, from what I remember, I told them that, when I was little, I used to have a lot of ear infections. You guys remember this? And they're like, yeah, of course. And I said, I used to be really scared. And the best part of me being sick and scared was that I would jump in their bed and would sleep in the middle of them, and I felt safe. And I told them that I've been scared for the longest time, and I wanted them part of my life. And the only part of me that they don't know is that I'm gay. And so I'm crying, I'm emotional. My mom's crying, and my dad's crying, and my mom, I think, didn't really hear me say that I was gay, and she goes, wait, what did you say? And I'm like, I'm gay. And my mom, I think, was taken back a little, and she's like, so you're not sick? And I'm like, no, I'm gay. And she goes, okay. So it took her some time to process. And the best part of what my mom said after that kind of realization of what I said was, whatever God has given you, that's the way you should live your life. And I've been living my life since then, and they are a big support. My mother just turned 74 years old, and having a immigrant mother kind of be a supporter of the LGBT community, and calling me whenever there's something on the news or an episode of a gay couple on TV, and she gets excited and she calls me. I feel that I've definitely made progress, and she's made progress, and so has my dad. And so thanks to them, I'm living my authentic life. If there's something I could share with this whole process of coming out, is that the key to your liberation and living your authentic life is your truth.